What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. As you guys can see, we got Matthew over to the left of me back for another episode. And under us, we got Trent Hillger, 2023 All-American at heavyweight. We talked to Trent last year. So welcome back to the show, Trent.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course, man, of course. And, obviously another great year for you at heavyweight. This year especially, you really looked like you were a man on a mission. So kind of talk a little bit about this season and kind of, what you were doing to prep for the year.
So I guess we'll go all the way back to the end of last year. So I weighed 215 at the end of or second day of NCAAs last year. And I just felt super tiny compared to everyone else. And it was miserable trying to wrestle all these big guys at 215. And so I took like a month off of wrestling and decided to come back like, hey, like I'm going to do this the right way. And I'm going to get like massive and kind of try to fill into this heavyweight weight class. And so I got up to about 260, 265 before the season started and kind of like wrestled out throughout the whole season about at that weight and kind of focus on having like a game plan going in every single match. Last year, I was like, kind of just like, I'm just gonna throw whatever out there and we'll see what works. And really focus on having a game plan, like going to wrestle. And I knew I could compete with everybody in the country. And I think that showed a little bit this year that I had good matches with everyone in the country at some point in the season. And I just had to go out there and show and go out and prove to myself that I belong back on the podium. And I felt like I did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, man, 100%. And I think we'll kind of throw in some of the questions if they get brought up. Somebody asked, one of our fans asked, for questions for you. Somebody asked, Shane Sparks was saying during nationals that you were eating 10,000 calories a day. Now, what was your diet like on this bulk?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't believe me on this whole 10,000 calorie thing. It's kind of like surreal a little bit, but so a lot of my calories came through liquid. So our nutritionist program here is incredible. Our nutritionist is amazing. We have these like 32-ounce shakes. They're 1,500 calories, and I'd have 3 of those a day. So I had 3 of those a day every day for about 10 straight months, 11 straight months. So I'm getting close to 5,000 calories just through three of those. And that take like 10 minutes each to drink one of those. And then our school provides a lunch every single weekday. And so I'd get about 2,500 calories through that. And I'd get a box to take home. So it'd be another 2,500 calories roughly. And so we're already approaching about 10,000 calories just through those. And then I would kind of like throw in little snacks here or there, like 500 calories, 1,000 calories, whatever it is. And so I'd end up eating about every couple hours, whatever it was. Either it was a shake or the food from Camp Randall or from nutritionist. And it turned into, about 6 or 7 meals, roughly around 1,500, 2,000 calories a day. Like on my phone, I had a reminder every 2 hours just said eat. And so I'd get a ringer and it'd say I'd have to go find something to eat. I'd be full constantly. But it was brutal. But yeah, so like I said, most of my calories were liquid calories. I know under the Shane Sparks, he interviewed me at Midlands, and I saw a lot of comments like, "Oh, it must be like juicing or something like that." It's like it was pretty difficult. Like people don't really understand how difficult it is to eat a lot of food. But yeah, no, it's possible. I mean, I did it for every single day since basically last May. So
have you kind of cut back on that, or you think you're gonna stay
You're
at
still
the weight you're
bulking.
walking around at?
no, I've cut back. I've already lost 25 pounds since NCAAs. So
Wow.
I'm already
Wow, okay.
I'm already under 240. So
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
All right.
I think we saw that a couple years back with Kassar. Kassar got huge. He got real big. I know he said that he was up at 250 almost. When I saw he was prepping for his fight, he said at the heaviest he was 250. So that I know he did the same kind of situation, just a huge bulk because he was again, really small for a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this year, talk a little bit about your schedule because I know I saw in another interview, the clip kind of went a little bit viral of how tough the beginning of your year was.
Yeah, so I went 19-11 this year, and I like these 11 losses a lot for like you consider a guy that All-Americans 11 would be a lot of losses, but I wrestled Mason Paris twice, I wrestled Greg Kirkfleet twice, I wrestled Cassiope once, I wrestled Davison twice, and then my other losses were to Sam Schuler, Skyler, whatever. He was round a 12 guy. Orendorf round a 12 guy, and then we had We had Pitzer, the Pitt kid, who he beat Schultz, and so like my schedule was nuts. I wrestled a top five guy in the country who guys who plays top five 7 times this year, and in January for a Big Ten schedule, my first weekend I wrestled Kirkliet, second weekend I wrestled Paris, third weekend I wrestled Cassiope, fourth weekend I wrestled Davison. So every single month, every single week of the month, I was wrestling the top four
Holy
guy in the country at the time, or
shit.
now ending up being top five.
Yeah, so like
And
realistically, you could cut that down to like 7 losses because some of them are repeats. You don't have
yeah,
to put the
yeah.
whole
I
11.
mean,
Holy
I
shit.
if I'm gonna take the schedule. I do appreciate having the Big Ten schedule because I'm wrestling an NCAA finalist every single weekend, NCAA
Yeah.
semifinals every single weekend. So honestly, like when I'm wrestling these round of 32, round of 16, even quarterfinal matches, like they're easy compared to what I've been wrestling the entire year. So like I'm wrestling guys that whatever maybe took like fourth EIWAs or whatever, and then so like they haven't wrestled the same schedule as I had, and that was kind of like the big emphasis at NCAs was the coaches were like, these guys haven't wrestled your schedule. They haven't gone through the wear and tear. They don't understand like what you've gone through. And it's like you're prepared, you've wrestled with the best the entire year. And so that was a kind of big emphasis. And I mean, I it does suck because you're taking a lot of losses in my position here, but like you are getting prepared to the best of your ability for this NCAA tournament. I mean, like I said, I wrestled the top five guys in the country 7 times this year.
I mean, yeah, that's only going to make you better and better and better. Training with the best, wrestling the best, it's going to elevate you, obviously. I mean, it might hurt at the time, but, the next time around, you're probably going to do a lot better against them or beat those guys. And then you're going to be the one to look out for, like, hey, I don't want to wrestle this guy.
It does get tough because I mean, I was a guy. I'm not taking a ton of losses in a row, but then you start running into the guys, especially when Gable was back in. Like I would have like one weekend would be Gable, or then the next match would be Kirkley, then the next match would be Cassiope, then the next match would be like Davison. So I'm like I would have to take like 3 or 4 losses in a row, but I'm wrestling the top 4 guys in the country, and they're like it would all be close matches. But it's still like a mental battle.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Yeah,
dude,
for
like
sure.
even though you're losing these matches, like you're still close. Like they're like, don't get too down on yourself. Like you'd finally get a break match where you're not wrestling a top 4 guy in the country. And so
And then it's still a tough guy like Orndorff. Like it's like
yeah, like our
definitely.
like break matches are guys that are around the 16 dudes.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
it's kind of
It's
ridiculous
crazy.
when you think about like I
And,
mean that's why the Big Ten takes 10, 11 guys per weight class.
Yeah. But then the difference there, I mean, you go from that week of just pure hell, almost the hell week, really. And then you're just like, damn, like I gotta chill,
Yeah.
And then who would have thought, Pitzer really came out of nowhere. He I think a lot of people were kind of upset with the Pitt coaching staff for not putting him out there the rest of the season. I mean, I get keeping his red shirt, but those 5 matches he wrestled, man, he looked real good. I mean, heavyweight's gonna be a crazy weight class these next couple of years. You got Feldman in the tube at Ohio State getting ready. You got Pitzer who's ready to make his debut. I'm sure you guys are training a good heavyweight for you, obviously, to kind of fill in that spot for you. So who's next in the Wisconsin pipeline?
Right now, Pete Christensen would be our backup. He's an Illinois guy. He's a 197 coming in, and he's actually bigger than I am. He's like up to 260 now. He's a big dude, big, strong guy. So
you got him on your meal plan, huh?
yeah, for real. He's been doing it a little bit longer than I have. But so yeah, hopefully just stick around and train with him a little bit more, get him ready. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I
We'll see.
mean, obviously, we have a really great relationship with your teammate, Braxton.
Mhm.
It's super sad to see what happened to him this year at Nationals, but we hope he kind of gets on track next season and kind of really shows the world who Braxton Amos is. He's had a rough 2 years.
Yeah, I mean it's been tough. Like the dude obviously he's a world champ. He has the ability, and like I see it in the room. Like when I was a little bit lighter, we didn't wrestle a whole lot this year because I was so much bigger than he was. But last year when I was around 220, 230, we wrestled a little more, and like his skill set is incredible, and he has all the weapons to be that top guy. And it's just getting it to click when it gets into the match setting and like figuring out like all the little details like off the mat. And I think as soon as he figures all that out, like he's gonna skyrocket into being a finalist wherever he's at.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
figure out how
100%.
to use all that.
Yeah, I agree
Use that
100%.
skill
Like you
set.
said, he is a world caliber athlete. And he ended up getting the call this year. I know he had to
Yeah.
travel a ton. kind of right before the season started to, go and travel and wrestle Greco. So I think he's a guy, that he could also help kind of push the Greco scene a little bit better for, the US, because obviously we've been lacking a little bit in
Yeah.
Well,
Greco.
absent.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I hope he does.
obviously a great career for you, an awesome, awesome way. You don't have any more eligibility, right? You're done.
No, no. I don't know if I'd take it if I had another year.
No, you don't know. Yeah,
No,
man.
6 years is a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 years is a long time. Just was crazy, crazy 6 years for you. You all Americans. How many times? You were a Big Ten medalist. How many times? You've won so many of these. Big time tournaments, and I'm sure you're pretty satisfied with how your career turned out.
Yeah, I am. See, I go into college. I feel kind of bad like saying this. I expected more out of my career. I mean, I came in with like I would say is the greatest era of heavyweight wrestling. I mean, like three of the 4 years I competed at the NCAA tournament, I had the Hodge winner in my weight class at heavyweight. I don't know if there was a heavyweight Hodge winner before I got in college. So now then 3 straight years I have a Hodge winner in my weight class. So I came in with just a nuts era of heavyweight wrestling, and there's a bunch of just world class, best in the world guys. And I obviously super satisfied with my career, 4-time All American. I mean, all that stuff. But kind of like I came in with a goal of like being national champ. Being obviously that 1 year last year was pretty disappointing when I missed the podium to be a 5-timer. But I mean,
You'd be the first, right? You would be
yeah, it would have been the first and only in Wisconsin history, because like there's no one else that would be able to get to that unless I have another whatever. Hopefully not COVID thing happened, but yeah, no, it's been like I think it'll hit it and like hits me a little bit more when I get a little bit older, like what my career meant. Because like right now it's like I'm still like in that competitive mindset. Like I'm always looking for the next best thing, always like trying to be the next best thing, and so like as soon as the season was over, it's like, all right, like, well, we got to like next best thing, whatever that is, just kind of keep moving forward. And so I really haven't time to like really process the whole career. And so I guess I think in a few more years I'll probably really understand like what it means to actually be a 4-time All-American. But like, as of right now, like I personally didn't reach my like goals coming into college, so it's like I guess a little disappointing, even though not like whatever. And like I said, I feel bad saying that because I know a lot of people like just would dream to have it once, and I'm like being upset being 4 times. But like I'm obviously super blessed, super honored to be in my spot that I am. But like I said,
I mean,
my mindset's always like I'm trying to like get to the next best thing. I'm trying to like beat like the Gables. I'm trying to beat the Parises. And so like when I didn't, it was kind of like that was like a disappointment to myself. But like I said, I feel blessed and honored for like the whole career.
Yeah, not many people can say they're a 4-time All-American, like I know you were shooting for the stars, but you landed on the moon,
Yeah.
Like you did something not many people could say they did.
Like I'm sure your name will be plastered on the walls of Wisconsin, in the wrestling room for the rest of, as that building is there.
I hope so. I hope so. That was my goal coming to college. So
your legacy will not go forgotten, I'm sure. Your name's in the history books, not even once but 4 times. There's not a lot of people out there that could say they're a 4-time All-American. It's a crazy, crazy, world to be in, especially a Big Ten athlete, and you've had a reasonably healthy career as well. I know you had a couple like slight bumps and bruises, but nothing really crazy happened.
I mean, there's a lot of hidden stuff, I should say. Like back my redshirt freshman year, a couple days before Big Ten's actually the Big Ten tournament, I actually slipped and fell on some ice. Embarrassing moment, but I tore and broke my ankle, and I wrestled on that for 3 years. I didn't get it fixed until until quarantine. So I was so the first, so my redshirt freshman year, redshirt sophomore year when the NCAAs was canceled, and then the COVID year, like the half season, was when I wrestled on a broken and torn ankle.
And you All-American on a broken ankle.
All 3 of those years, yeah. And then after that COVID year, I got surgery immediately after, and that's when I lost a ton of weight. Like I was like 240, 250, and that's when I got down to like 210. And so
you were almost thinking I might have to wrestle Braxton off and go down to 97.
Yeah, well, I was like, Braxton was struggling to make 97 a little bit at the time. He's like, do I go heavyweight? Like you go 97? I was like, I mean, it's a consideration right now.
Yeah, like you walking around at 210, like that's an easy cut for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
to get down to 97. Wow.
Yeah, so I had that and the surgery, and actually at NCAs, I just tore my ACL in the last match. So
Oh,
I'm getting surgery in about a week.
oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something.
How's
But
that
at
feeling?
least it was after. It was the last match. It was after All American. So
Did
like,
you know kind of immediately that you messed up your knee pretty bad?
yeah, yeah, I heard it pop and start burning right away, and I really couldn't like I couldn't walk a whole lot off the mat. And then next day I could like walk around a little bit, but it's a little tight. And then like right now it feels perfectly fine. Like I don't even know what I'm getting surgery on. Like it doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's a complete tear. I got an MRI like as soon as I got back. So
That's the thing with ACLs, man. Like they don't hurt the
Unless you
worst,
pivot, yeah.
mm,
but
mm.
yeah, they don't hurt the worst definitely because it's just for stability. That's the biggest thing for ACLs.
Yeah, like whenever I pivot or cut, like I just
Mhm.
feel you can just like feel it sliding, and it's brutal. That hurts, but that's about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, at least, you were able to finish out the year,
Yeah.
finish out the tournament, get your spot on the podium, but just an awesome career, man. Wrapping it up
For
for you,
sure.
So what's next for you? Obviously you get your
Uh,
ACL fixed. I'm sure that's going to take you out from, this cycle of freestyle or Greco, whatever you
mhm.
prefer. So do you think you keep wrestling? You think you'll, try to get a coaching position? What's kind of next for you? What are you going to use your degree?
Right now I'm trying to look for a coaching position. I've been in contact with a few different schools already. I'd be willing to like do like a coaching RTC position. Obviously, I'll be out until probably close to January. Uh, so that will put, like I said, this summer and early winter is going to be off limits for competing. But I definitely want to get into coaching, and whether if it's start in RTC and then work my way into coaching, but however that works, I do plan on wrestling, continue my career
Yeah.
after ACL heals up. But I'd prefer to be in a coaching role and be an RTC athlete instead of just being a pure
So
RTC
kind of
athlete.
like a Don Bradley situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
no
definitely.
no UFC for you.
I see. I've considered it. Like I have a few pretty solid connections into the MMA world,
It would be
and
dope. I'm not gonna lie. It would be really cool to see you fight. Like the
I
hair flowing, just going
Trent
out there.
versus John Jones. I want to see
well,
it.
I don't know if I want to get that one. He that's a pretty intimidating dude. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot. I did like quite a bit of judo. That doesn't really translate a whole lot into MMA a ton, but
I mean, Ronda Rousey used her judo.
yeah. I mean, I would. My dad was a pretty big boxer when he was growing up, so I'm sure he has a little bit he could show me with that training. But I would want to get heavy into jiu-jitsu. I mean, who knows? Like maybe I can talk to Askren. We'll see. I have connections with him.
I
So
know jujitsu is definitely a big part. Like Bo does the jujitsu. I was
mm,
talking to I think Lucas Bird the other day. He's doing all that, wants to get into fighting and
Yeah.
everything. And yeah,
Lucas
jujitsu is
Bird. Lucas Bird's gonna be
crazy.
the next Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
He said he's like, yeah, I want to punch people in the face, man. I was like, blew my mind completely because I'm sure you've seen him walking around tournaments and stuff and seen
mm,
him compete, and he's just very small, very like just you wouldn't think it, but he came on, looked me dead in the eyes, like, yeah, I want to punch people in the face for a living. I was like, oh man, okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, all right.
just
I mean, you
crazy,
got to
man.
have that mindset if you're going to go into it, though.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you really do. You have to like enjoy kind of getting punched in the face.
Yeah, you have to be a little crazy.
Yeah, just slightly, but
all wrestlers are. Come on,
Yeah,
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 we're all
yeah,
a little
for
crazy.
real, for real.
yeah, man. But obviously, you know, great career. Great career. Hopping into our next segment here. We asked the fans for some questions for you.
And they
So
delivered, man. They
they
delivered for sure.
delivered. Let me tell you, shout out to all of the Wisconsin boys that made some comments on there. Shout out to Trent's brother, football player. Shout out to him. So we got some good comments. We will start with your teammate, Mikey Talshahar
Oh
from
god.
Wisconsin. He said, relationship status and future plans, please answer honestly.
Oh god. The relationship status is a no comment.
Okay.
Uh,
No comment.
Oh, okay. Interesting take
yeah,
there.
yeah. Future plans. I guess we kind of discussed future
Yeah, we
plans a
did. We
little bit.
did. We
Yeah,
did.
we
Yeah, we
did.
can
We
Yeah,
discuss
did.
future
Yeah, a
plans.
little bit.
but no comment on the relationship status.
All
Not
right.
yet.
All right.
Okay, got it.
And then we had Cody Goebel. one of your young bucks. He said, "Who is your favorite freshman at Wisconsin?"
Oh boy.
Be
I'm,
honest here.
I think he's fishing for a him response.
He is fishing for a him response, so I can't give it to him.
Okay.
So we'll see. Oh boy, all the freshmen have their own little quirks about them that make them a little funny. They've all grown on me. Is it like a typical freshman when they first get there? They're like a little irritating, and then you start like realizing who they actually are, and they're hilarious. We got a pretty funny group of freshmen.
We'll give you a way out. We'll give you three. You can do three any order. It doesn't not ordered.
Well, we'll do Mikey, Cody. We'll do those two. So they did comment on the post, so they've got to be up there. They're supporting.
Classic. Very true. Very true.
Oh, we'll do
and then your brother,
Felix Latini. He's pretty funny. I'll give him the third spot. Well, no specific order, but those are top three.
and then your brother Dylan, who is a football player. You know, he plays college football. He wants to know who's your favorite kicker.
So like I said, he's not going to like this response, but I'm going to have to say Brett Maher because he won me a bunch of fantasy football league games this past year. So, I mean, he got me in the playoffs in a couple of my leagues by having his 25-point performances where he'd kick whatever 350-yard field goals. But college kicker, I'll go Dylan. I'll give my brother, and he's actually looking for somewhere to go. So if there's any college football coaches watching this, there's a kicker in the transfer portal right now that's got a 60-yard leg. If
Whoa, 60-yard leg.
Give him a little shout out.
Shout out Dylan Hillger. Hit that boy up on Instagram. I'm sure you could find him on the portal as well if you want to get in contact.
Grad transfer kicker / punter. I think he's just sticking to kicking now though, so I don't know.
And he's got a leg on him.
He does have a leg on him. He's the kickoff specialist / long distance. He's made a few 60-yarders, so
that's crazy.
60-yarder is very intimidating. Go ahead, Matt, if you want to ask the next one.
Someone says, "Is a hot dog a sandwich?"
Oh God. I really haven't thought about this. I'd say probably no. I don't know because it kind of like just like wraps around it instead of like actually like.
So it's more of a taco.
Yeah, I would say it's closer to a taco than a sandwich.
A hot dog closer to a taco is a crazy statement. Let me just say.
I mean, it is.
Somebody's clipping it.
I'm here for bold statements.
Somebody's clipping it. Somebody's clipping it.
I hope so. I hope so. All
right. And then your brother also asked, what was one venue / team you wish you could have competed against?
Probably at Oklahoma State.
You want to wrestle at Okie State?
Yeah, I mean this is a historic.
But I mean, you have competed at Iowa before in Iowa.
Oh yeah. No, like I mean.
So is it as crazy as everybody says in Iowa? Are the fans as nuts as theirs?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure you saw the little bit of the mess that was happened there a couple years ago with Gomez, but that's it's kind of how it always is. I didn't believe in like getting Carvered because I've always been a guy like outside noise doesn't bother me. Then I go on my redshirt freshman year, I'm like ranked second in the country. I'm wrestling Cassiope. It's like his first big match, and like I was exhausted like 30 seconds into the match. They just like wore you out the entire time you're on the bench. You're just like being heckled by. They put like the little like student section / media section like right next to the bench, and it's
yelling, chirping at you.
We're being heckled the entire time. And obviously, I was a big match because Cassiope is just upcoming guy, huge. I ended up being a huge success, and then I was number 2 in the country. I just beat Orendorff, who was I believe number 2 at the time, and so like that's a massive match. Everyone's got circled for Cassiope, so I'm getting heckled the entire time, and like it was brutal. Like I didn't believe in it, but like you have hundreds and hundreds of people as you're like walking back and forth across, like getting warmed up and stuff like that. Like there's on you the entire time. I mean, it's a great environment. It's a fun environment to be in. So
definitely.
Someone here says he was one of Michigan's best high school wrestlers. What's your opinion on where Michigan fits into the national scene compared to other states?
I mean, we've had some pretty dang good guys come out of Michigan. I mean, as of right now, we got obviously Cam Amin, we got Max Dean, some great guys. I think what would help Michigan out a lot is if we move to one division. Like we got a lot of states. I'm a big promoter for like a lot of these states moving to one division for high school wrestling.
Like Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I like that's like in Jersey, a state champ means something. Like really means something.
But that's the thing, right? But for like let's just say Pennsylvania, like you being, even though it is two divisions, like you being a Pennsylvania state champ
Yeah.
is still like a high, like you could go to pretty much any college if you win a PA state title.
Yeah, I mean, some states are
Depends
different.
which one though,
Yeah,
because
Triple A
a
is
lot of
harder than
people
Double
don't
A.
value.
Double A as they do Triple A.
Mhm.
But I think it would just be too many kids, too many good kids, if they combined together.
You know how populated New Jersey is?
You know how populated Pennsylvania is? Look at the size of the states.
Yeah, but we are the most densely populated state.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, you see a place like California has one division, but then like Georgia has like 8.
Yeah, I saw that. Or like Florida has like 2 or 3 too. Like
it's like what are we doing? Like Michigan has 4, and I was Division 3, so I'm not like knocking on smaller divisions, and it's like Division 1's the biggest in Michigan, so I'm not knocking on smaller divisions. I was a smaller division, but like just like the competition is just not there. Like you might have 1 or 2 good guys per weight class, and like Division 1 will have like 3 or 4.
now,
But
do you think you could have beat the Division 1 with like high school state champ in Michigan?
I mean, my junior senior year, I think so. I did my junior and senior year.
Oh, okay.
Because we wrestled like in some tournament later in the year or earlier in the
They should
year.
have a super match. All the state champs get together.
I would like to see that.
I would be down for that.
versus
Have a little round robin like a couple weeks later.
The true state titles.
Let's do it right now. Let's bring them all back. You're wrestling again.
Yeah, bring them all back. Trent, your knee can get fixed next month. We're gonna bring the guy back wherever he may be in his career. Who won the D1 title? And
I actually wrestled I wrestled my first college tournament. Actually, he wrestled for CMU. I went to Michigan State Open. I wrestled.
Oh wow!
So
imagine like 2 of those guys are just like real estate agents that haven't touched the mat since high school.
Yeah, they're just and then another fan asked, what's your go-to post-match meal after a W for the Badgers? What are you eating?
It kind of depends like how quick I'm wrestling my next, because it's usually like a pizza. Like I love, there's just this like a little like oven or like was it like open fire pizza spot here in Madison. It's amazing. And I usually would like getting that, but like if we're competing, if it's like a Friday, Sunday, I'm not gonna get that. Like I'll usually just make some like pasta back home. So back here. So I guess there's like 2 options, but
what's the house looking like? Who do you live with right now?
So I live with Pete, future heavyweight right there. Then Dom Dentino and Drew Sharonbrock, who Drew made Midland Finals this year at 57. And then Dom, he's been, I think, medically retired. He had a few labrum surgeries in his shoulder. So those are wrestlers. And I have one other random roommate that's like was friends with a couple of guys in high school. So we do have a few cats, though. We do actually have a couple cats that roam the house.
What is the cat? I don't know what it is. Every wrestling house has a cat.
It just keeps us, I don't know, it keeps us company. It's something that we don't have to be around all the time. Because like with a dog, you're gonna have to take care of it when we're traveling, or someone's got to take care of it. So I guess with a cat, we don't have to like have.
You just see it once in a while. You're like, oh, what's up, Taco? Or
basically,
whatever the name is.
Dave and Puddle.
Dave. So hey, Dave.
Yeah,
I always love it when I see a cat that's just like so mean, and I go over someone's house. I'm like, oh, you have a cat? They're like, yeah, that's Jerry. Like he's mean. Like just cats with regular people's names.
Yeah, man. And then last question from the fans. One of the fans wants to know, who is your favorite wrestler to wrestle against?
Oh boy.
Throughout your whole career, you could pick one guy that you think you had the best matches with.
Oh, best matches with? Oh, that changes a little. Because my favorite like to wrestle against is probably Greg Kirkfleet. So I just like I respect the hell out of that guy. Like he's someone that like if I'm not winning a national title, I want him to win a national title. Like he's someone I just know him personally. Like
Greg's a good dude. Yeah, we've had the opportunity to talk to Greg a bunch, and he's a really good dude.
Favorite matches against though. I mean, Paris and I have had some pretty solid matches in our career. I mean, we've even back to freestyle when he won the junior world title that year. Like we went to 3 in our best of 3 series for the junior world team trials finals. So he's always a fun guy to wrestle against. I mean, he's just so offensive and aggressive, and like makes for usually a higher paced match. And so I'd say those are usually some pretty fun matches when I wrestle Paris.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you had some really good matches with all these guys that, and congrats to Paris winning his national title. He did the thing this year and really,
for real. Congrats
separated himself. So, obviously this year the podium looked a little different. There was a lot of kind of movement of pieces around where guys we kind of thought in the beginning of the season were going to be possible champs, kind of slipped down the podium, either to like the last, couple spots. So, I mean, but it was a tough year, for everybody. I know it was one of the most stacked heavyweight brackets, we've probably seen in a while.
I mean, yeah. How many world team members are on that? How many world medalists are on that podium?
Junior world team members, cadet world team, like anything like that.
I
Like,
mean, you could go back a few years, and I mean, possibly anyone on that bracket could be winning it. Like before, So I don't know. So or they could be top 3 guys, and it's just like I mean, you get guys like Orndorff, who was an All-American a couple years ago, that don't place.
Don't place. So. That too as well. Guys who didn't even place. Like,
definitely.
I mean, I think we really saw kind of the Wyatt Hendrickson had his big breakout year this year too. He looked like he was in crazy shape this year too. Like he had a Cassiope looked cracked this year too. He looked like built, like just shredded. Yeah, he looked.
It's like kind of like everyone just like it was like everyone just went crazy for this year.
Went to the really for real though. Like Harris looked big, Kirk looked good. You looked like you were strong as shit. You looked like you were honestly like how much were you lifting? Did that change as you got bigger?
So I do actually have a video of this. I got to see if I can find the video. But I did squat Hatfield squats, so like where you can like hold onto the things, whatever. It was 900 pounds at one point, like right before the season started. So I got to make sure I can find this video.
That's the hair giving you power.
It's the hair, man. It's the Thor. It is, man. It is.
Yeah, but like you said, you came into a time of heavyweight wrestling that is
it was the change. It was the changeover,
and everything was changed.
Yeah, we went from the big kind of Greco-looking wrestling of Adam Kuhn to Kyle Snyder, who kind of changed the game for pretty much everybody. And then it was, guys like yourself. And then, Gable had that big change from, the year he lost to Kassar, who, he changed the game too. He came in as this really tall, kind of a little bit muscly guy instead of, a bigger, slower, heavyweight. And I mean, I think we're going to kind of stick with that with guys like Pitzer and Feldman, coming in, and Carroll.
I mean, it's just turning into like, it's a bunch of guys that could definitely play Division I football. They're just choosing to stick to wrestling.
Before you would see heavyweights just pushing each other around, and now you see them scrambling and diving and rolling. You're like, what is happening?
Taking deep single leg shots and not being afraid to get stuck under somebody. Like,
I mean, new time. It's so much fun to wrestle in, though. I love it. Like that's what I'm probably like one I'm most honored about. It's like it's an honor to be like a focal point of like this changing over of the heavyweight wrestling. Like I was like a big member of that like change. Yeah. And like and hopefully like it keeps growing, and like I mean, I think eventually it'll be like 285 looking like this. Because like people are just gonna keep developing and growing. But I mean, heavyweight's turning one of those weight classes like people want to watch heavyweight. Like that's what they look forward to, is the heavyweight bracket, because it's just been so crazy the last few years.
It's been stacked too, man. It's been
an honor. It's been an honor. It's been fun.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I could really pick in between heavyweight or 97, which bracket was loaded this year. 97 was a crazy bracket too.
97 was. You didn't know who was going to win 97. No. It's funny, like the one seed ended up winning it, but like going into the bracket, like I had no clue. I was like,
it was because everybody beat each other. Everybody like you had like the kid from Oklahoma State who was a heavyweight, but then went down in 97. Beat the guy who was ranked number 1 at the time, and then like the only guy who didn't lose was the kid from Pitt. So it's like, but everybody else beat each other. So it was up until like the finals, you were like, oh well, anybody could win, and then even during the match, the first takedown goes to the kid that's not seeded number 1. Yeah.
I mean, you get guys like Silas Allred that like he looked amazing this year. He won a Big Ten title. He looked incredible. Beat Max Dean twice, and he doesn't even AA. Like that's nuts. Like that's how crazy that bracket was.
Yeah, we just talked to him yesterday.
We talked to him yesterday.
He looked so good. He looked so good.
Yeah, we told him probably one of the best Big Ten performances. The 8 seed to winning the whole thing.
Yeah. He's a freshman.
I think he's a freshman. He thinks somebody in the media told him that there hasn't been somebody that low of a seed that's won Big Tens in over a decade.
I mean,
from the 8 seed to the up. I'm assuming,
because I mean, they didn't start seeding like all the way to 14 until my freshman year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that unless an unseeded guy won whatever a decade ago, but I don't know.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, just a crazy time in wrestling, man.
Yeah. but it's the up. I think a
Yeah.
lot more respect is going to get put on the heavyweight wrestling's name. Not everybody will be leaving the gym as the heavyweights of wrestling. I think people will kind of be staying in their seats. And I think we
Yeah.
really saw that when they made, when they kind of kept, when Gable was there and Gable kind of really drove heavyweight wrestling to, this is entertaining, especially you saw him do a backflip. Sad we
Yeah.
didn't get to see a Trent Hillger backflip, I think that would have been something fun for the
The
fans.
torn ACL might have put a little damper on that.
Can you do a backflip?
Huh?
Can you do a backflip?
Yeah. I mean, I've been able to in the past. I haven't done it in a while, so I probably need a few more practice. So, my senior year of high school, I was training to do a backflip after I won it. Because I didn't celebrate at all. I was like, screw it. Like, I'll just do it one time before I head out. And like in my semifinals match, like tweaked my knee really bad. And
You
so
were like, man, I can't do a backflip.
well, yeah, like I was feeling it out during the finals match. I get a tech in like early second period in the finals match, and
You're like, how's my knee?
like I literally like I stand up and like feel my knee, and like I feel like pop. Okay, I can't do it. So I've been able to do a backflip before. We'll just go with that. I haven't done it in a while, but
That's awesome.
I think I'll be able to get back to it pretty quick if I train.
After the surgery, we're gonna need to see a clip of that. For
Okay,
sure.
I'll start training for it. I'll send it in.
Yeah. Next year we're gonna need to see a Trent Hillger backflip.
Right.
Just to see it.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. That'd be dope. It'd be dope. But we have some questions me and Matt prepared for you. Just a couple more, just to kind of non-wrestling related, some wrestling related, just to kind of let the fans know a little bit more about Trent Hillger outside of just him competing.
Yeah,
Right.
so just to like start off, like if you're not wrestling, you have a day off, what are you doing? You going outside for a hike, you playing some video games, sleeping in?
Well, sleeping in is the big one. I love my naps. I'm a big nap guy, so I take as many naps as I can. But it kind of depends on the year. Like obviously Wisconsin, I mean, there's only really like 4 really nice months out of the year. So I'll golf basically any off day I have whenever it's nice out. But other than that, it's probably playing Xbox whenever I have nothing else to do. So right now I'm in one class. I'm in my last 3 credits from a master's program. So go to class once a week.
Good for
Really
you.
doing nothing. Yeah, it's
Good
so
for
it's
you,
so
man.
nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Especially, being able to compete at that high level and getting a master's degree at that. And what's your degree in?
My master's degree is in education. I want to be a athletic director in the future. So I want to coach for a while, then end up being an athletic director.
That's
Nice.
awesome,
What's
man.
what's the game of choice? You're hopping on the sticks. What are you playing?
2K. I'm
2K.
a pretty good 2K player. I'll say that.
2K.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2K.
Yeah.
What? You're a
No
wrestler.
COD.
No
Yeah.
COD, no Madden
UFC.
or
I do
Fortnite,
Okay,
UFC.
Madden's been the exact same game for like 6 straight years, so I refuse to keep giving him money. 2K, I play a lot of 2K. I've got like all my high school buddies are big basketball fans, so they all play 2K. So I play 2K for them. I'm the point guard for our team, so we're pretty good.
Not the center?
No. I do play some Call of Duty. We played a lot of Warzone over the quarantine, like Verdansk and stuff like that. A ton of Warzone.
Verdansk.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah. No Fortnite? You don't get down with Fortnite with the boys?
Our team plays a ton of Fortnite. Our team plays Fortnite all the time. We'll just get in like one of those creative modes and just
creative tilted.
Tilted Zone Wars?
Yeah.
You play Tilted?
We do play some
yeah.
Zone Wars and stuff like that. So we get after it. They'll get like 15 guys on there.
That's what we do, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like it's so fun. Like, and I don't think a lot of people are like, oh, like you guys are playing video games, like whatever. But it's like that's like our time to like relax. Like when we're not doing anything, and like obviously, like especially you guys wrestling a Big Ten schedule, having a hard practice every day. I'm sure it's nice sometimes at night to just kind of kick back with the boys and play a little bit of Fortnite and just relax. Yeah, talk some shit to each other.
We need some time to like decompress. Like we're like, especially a lot of us. Like I'm not crazy in school right now because of my workload, but like other people, it's like basically 2 full-time jobs. And so like when you have the opportunity to just like chill and like and play video games with your guys, like kind of just like keep hanging out with the friends, like I mean you're gonna take it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. And then you already mentioned the pizza place, but what's some of the go-to places to eat in Madison?
Breakfast is Mickey's for sure. We actually live right next to Mickey's. It's been a little dangerous. It's like
that's what the bulk's from. He's telling everybody about these shakes. He's over there eating 12 pancakes every morning. He's just
they have these giant scramblers, or they're called scramblers, and it's like I know it's like probably like a plate like this big of just like potatoes, eggs, and like whatever you want to throw into it. And it's
like a skillet thing.
yeah. And it's they give you like a shirt if you finish it or something like
Have
that.
you
Or like,
finished it?
He has 20 shirts.
His whole closet is just sectioned out, just t-shirts.
It's the only shirt he wears.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's like underneath here.
That's got to be dangerous for them to have that in a college town with a Division I wrestling and a football program. I'm sure every lineman at Madison, Wisconsin has a t-shirt from that place.
Well, I live like right across from Camp Randall, so we're like, I mean, I'm a 2-minute walk from Camp Randall and a 1-minute walk from the Mickey's place. So I mean,
food is just surrounding you.
Oh yeah, food is everywhere. I mean, one thing I learned about Wisconsin is that they really do their food right here. They care about their food. So
oh yeah,
it's a big deal here.
Yeah.
Gets cold and you warm up with some food.
Oh yeah.
What's the hype with the cheese curds?
You got to go specific places. Like some places
like I keep hearing about Culver's. Now is Culver's as good as everybody says it is?
Culver's is pretty dang good. Like I'm a big ice cream guy, so they're concrete mixers. Like I don't know, like Dairy Queen. It's like the exact same thing as their Blizzards, pretty much. So good. Oh yeah, like in the off season, I'll just stop at Culver's like on the way home from like a camp or something, get a couple concrete mixers and.
Wait, hold on. He said a couple, not a.
A couple
concrete mixers.
I gotta get different flavors, one for the vanilla ice cream, one for the chocolate ice cream. So I
he's got it down to a science here.
It's not the shakes. He was lying about these shakes.
These shakes don't exist. I don't care what he says.
I'm serious about my ice cream addiction.
Until I hear the team doctor talk to me and say that he was actually drinking these shakes. These shakes don't exist. He was eating a 2 or 3 concrete mixers, a couple of cheese curds, and a couple of stacks of pancakes every day. He was just at the diner across the street. He wasn't. These shakes don't exist.
Oh yeah.
What's the go-to ice cream flavor though?
Moose Tracks. I don't know if it's called that.
Yeah. We have that in PA. Yeah. That's something, man. That's something. Well, Trent, we just want to say, obviously, congratulations to you again. Obviously, amazing job just in wrestling and obviously in your academics. Leaving Madison with a master's degree is no joke, and I'm sure your parents and your whole coaching staff is super proud of that. And we look forward to the what's coming for the Wisconsin Badgers. I know, obviously, like you said, they got a new heavyweight coming in to kind of fill some big shoes for you. So we hope he's ready. Hopefully, like we talked about Braxton, hopefully he gets on track and gets healthy and is ready to start winning and start getting on the podium.
Yeah, I have full faith in all these guys. Like I said, I'm going to try training with them or at least staying in contact, whatever. I don't know what my future looks like, but
and wherever you go to coach, we hope they're getting a hammer to train with their heavyweight. So that's gonna be awesome. So we ask this question every time.
Question.
You've been asked this question before. You could take 3 of your Wisconsin Badger teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be and why?
Number 1 would be Eric Barnett. He's a super resourceful guy, even as a little guy, and he's a little spitfire. He's got a little firecracker lit up in his butt most of the time. So I'd say Eric, very resourceful. Joe Zargo for the comedy. He's also kind of resourceful guy. He's yeah, Joe would be the comedy. He's the comic relief for however long we're in the zombie apocalypse. And who would be the next one? Braxton's got all the guns, so I got to bring Braxton. He's a big dude. So
Braxton is a big dude, yeah.
So we'll take. I'll take the size. With
how are you feeding yourself and Braxton though? Like,
the nutritionist budget is probably running pretty low between us two.
I'm sure. And your other heavyweight, if he's bulking up too, man,
he's bulking. I mean, he's bigger than I am. He's bulking more than I am. So
yeah, man. Then your nutritionist, their entire budget for the semester just went into 3 people. Just you, Braxton, and your new heavyweight. That's seriously awesome, man. And
you got to see if he could do that 900 squat.
Yeah.
Huh?
So we got to see if he can hit the 900 squat.
Actually, I'm gonna send that picture to you. That text you sent me.
We'll have to put it in. We'll put it at the end of the video. The picture of Trent squatting 900 pounds. Yeah, that is insane, definitely. But last thing we like to ask everybody, something new. Say something to the kids out there. Say something to the Wisconsin Badger fans. You know, the kids that want to grow up and be the next Trent Hillger. What could you say to them?
Well, first off, Badger fans, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me the last 6 years. Hopefully I made you guys proud. I feel like I'm a part of Wisconsin wrestling, not only just the university, but the entire state. I feel welcomed everywhere. And my big thing for the kids is, I guess, just continue having fun with the sport. This sport is a very up and down relationship, very love-hate relationship, and myself doing it for 20 years now. There's been plenty of times I've wanted to quit and give up, and even in college it's been the same way. So if you're going through a tough moment, you're not alone. Just continue to keep fighting through it. It's going to get better. You'll see better days. And like I said, biggest thing, just keep having fun with it, because that's the only thing that matters. If you're having fun, you're gonna be successful, whether if you're winning a bunch or not. That's the biggest part. Even in college wrestling, even just successful. So,
geez, there's not a dry eye in the building after that one, man. You know, it really is. You know, it's just gonna quick wipe the tears away, man. It really is, though. For a lot of us our age, you know, and like me and Matthew, you know, Matt's 21. I just turned 20. You know, for a lot of us, it's like guys that were in your class that, you know, we kind of grew up watching in like our teenage years. Watching you guys compete and watching you guys, you know, wrestle at the D1 level has been an honor. It really has.
Well, he's like,
yeah, he's.
I think what he's trying to say is. There
Hello?
it is.
Oh, a little bit.
Nope, man, he's gone. All right. Well, I think what he's trying to say is, yeah, we can't hear you, Dave, but I think what he's trying to say is we grew up watching you, and it's sad to see you go, because we've seen you and you've been a staple in the sport for so long. So it's definitely bittersweet, but it was definitely sweet watching you wrestle and watching you compete at the highest level.
Very bittersweet.
I'll still be around. You'll still. I'll be in a different setting, but I'll be around.
Well, we'll keep up with you. We'll hope to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate you guys. It's been fun. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, man. Anytime. Well, that's been another episode of the Heavyweight Nation podcast. See you guys later.